All the hotspots on ERANGEL. Military, Novo, the crates in Georgia Pole, school, and of course, Pachinki. But the question is, where can you get some awesome loot when you're trying to rank and you don't want to drop hot? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. What's going on, guys? This is Riggs. Welcome back to the channel. Before we jump into it, of course, this is Quest for Conqueror. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is number 5. I'll have the playlist, all the other Quest for Conqueror episodes down in the description, so make sure you check that out in case you missed any. By far my favorite series on the channel. And I just want to say thank you to all you guys. I don't know what the hell's going on with the channel lately. I don't want to say we're blowing up, but I can definitely say we are growing at a very rapid pace. For sure, the biggest small channel on YouTube. Go ahead and hashtag that. So the question is, and we have a lot to get through in this short video. Where can you loot safely? Where can you get some good loot when you're trying to push? And I know a lot of people, there's a lot of back and forth on this. And I'll go ahead and explain exactly what's going on probably in the very next one. But where we're at right now, this is the complex or the compound. It's located just southwest of school. Tons of good loot. Tons of different buildings to check out. You can check out both sides of the street. But anyway, so the question is, why don't you drop hot every single time? Whether you're ranking, are you a pussy, you're a scaredy cat, why aren't you dropping hot? You guys have to understand, this game is based on randomization. The first thing is, when you're dropping hot, you don't know how many people are coming with you. That's number one. If it's your squad, or if you're dropping solo and then you have 5 other squads or 5 other people dropping exactly where you are, it's going to be a matter of luck. It's just random who's going to land on that AR. And when you're trying to push, if you die, if you're one of the first ones to die, I'm sorry guys, you're gonna be getting like a minus 48 points. That's really, really tough. It could literally take 4 to 5 hours to get those points back. So anyway, that's why when you're trying to push, you often see people dropping in more remote locations to minimize the probability of someone else landing with you, so you have time to loot up and you're ready to gear. So that's I just want to kind of get that out of the way, because there's a lot of people that go back and forth on oh yeah, I'm in Conqueror and I drop hot every time. Well, you know, I don't know, I have a hard time believing that, just because you could have 4 chicken dinners that might get you 15 points each, and then you can have 1 bad hot drop and that will take away all of those points. Something to think about. So that's why you see a lot of people looting up safely. Another good thing about this location is maybe 100 meters away, just located east of this compound, is another big complex. And we actually had a couple guys camping the buildings here. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and break down exactly how I loot and why I do what I do. Because I'm telling, again, when you're pushing, when you start getting up into the crowns 2s and the crown 1s and higher, if you're not making it in the top 10, there's sometimes where you could still be losing points. So you definitely have to play it safe. And a couple clips later, a little bit later into the video, I'm gonna show you guys what happens when you drop remote and you got a couple other people landing with you. So definitely stay tuned until the end of the video. We end up having 3 people camping in this building. 1 or 2 of them might have been bots, but a couple of these guys had better loot than I did. But what's good about this area is it's pretty remote and you're kind of centrally located. You're not too far from school, you're not too far from Roz. There's a lot of different angles, a lot of different rotations you can make depending where that first circle lands. But definitely a good spot to check out when you are ranking. And for those of you guys that missed it, the reason why I'm doing the ERANGEL edition first is because that's what you guys had voted on, as far as whether you want to see all these maps broken up separately or if we're going to see them all in one. And you guys went ahead and wanted to have a separate video for each map. So that's what we're going to do. Ask and you shall receive. So again, a ton of loot. Look at what we came out with. Damn near fully kitted, besides the compensator, a fully kitted M4. We have a DP. And we also have a 4X and a 2X and a bunch of health, bunch of boosts. You really can't ask for more when you're first dropping. The only thing I don't like about this run is we only have a level 1 helmet. So that was kind of unfortunate, but that, you know, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. But yeah, definitely you want to be checking around everywhere. Even when you drop remote, that's another thing. When you're ranking, you have to understand other people know this too. So there's going to be times you're going to be dropping remote and you're going to have some company, as we're going to be, again, we're going to be seeing a little bit later on. So definitely check out the compound located just southeast of school, or excuse me, yeah, no, southwest of school. Great loot that you can get out of there. So now we're going to be in our next area. This is going to be Gatka. A lot of you guys probably have been here. Sometimes the circle closes over here. It's definitely not the most hidden, you know, loot location or anything like that. But there's a bunch of little compounds throughout Gatka, and with that road that runs through it, you can often find a vehicle, which is really, really nice. We have a couple of buildings. Look at this guy right here. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. That's why it's so important just running through. I should have looked up and see how many points. I almost felt bad when you kill somebody, but at the end of the day, it's them or you. You know what I mean? Am I going to get minus 48 or are they going to get minus 48? So we landed on the gun. They did not. That wasn't the one. That wasn't the one I was talking about. But yeah, so definitely, of course, I mean, you guys know, you guys watching this, you guys know how to loot, but it's very, very important to grab a gun as quick as possible. If you see a gun at the other end of the building and a first aid right next to you, go straight to the gun. Do not pick up anything. The first thing you want to find is a weapon. Like I was saying, when you guys are dropping in these remote locations, you can often have company because other people, once you start climbing through the leagues and through the tiers, other people are going to be dropping remote as well. But a lot of these places have tons and tons of loot. So we're going to have a little bit of company right here. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure. It's kind of hard to tell. We got a couple shots on that guy. If you guys haven't noticed, I found an M4 in each one of these loot locations so far between Gatka, and this is kind of the main area in Gatka. We can see there's this dude inside this compound right here, or inside this little shack thing. So that's another thing. When you're approaching buildings, when you're trying to push a building, notice I didn't run out in front. A lot of this stuff is really self-explanatory, but you'd be shocked at how many people don't do these things. So we kind of creep up on him. We climb through the window. And he had some loot. Not too sure what he was doing in there. So this right here is the main area. You can even see it on the mini-map in the upper right-hand corner where it literally says Gatka. So this is like the main central part, like the meat and potatoes of Gatka, and there's tons and tons of buildings. There's at least, I want to say 8, maybe 9 buildings, just kind of going around like in a, I guess kind of like in a circle. But there's tons of loot here. It's super remote. Nobody likes to drop Gatka. The thing is, you're not going to be walking out, you know, completely, you know, level 3, you know, head to toe. But there are times, you know, where you can find mini 14s, like I have right here. We have a mini and an M4. I mean, that's pretty much, I mean, that's like go-to right there. But it's not uncommon, you know, to find random 8Xs, you know, 6Xs, 4Xs. You can get some decent scopes out of this area. And of course, you know, just like anything, you want to be checking the corners, listening for any footsteps. Often, when you're dropping remote, you can often have a bot kind of running through the field. But with the updated bots, if that's like a thing, you never really know at the end of the day who it's going to be. So, you know, like my buddy Cleric Dragoon says, bot or not, they all get shot. It's got to be. So we're just checking these yellows right here. But yeah, there's all kinds of buildings, you know, and like I said, if you walk out, when you're dropping remote, if you walk out level 2, and you know, you have some boosts, you have some first aids, that's pretty much, I mean, what else can you really ask for? So here is going to be the next location. And this one I really, really like. The main reason is there's always going to be a vehicle here. I'm pretty sure I'd say, what, 100 times? Maybe 80%. There's always gonna be a vehicle located on the road up here. So here's our first guy. This is the one I want you guys to pay attention to. So where we dropped right here, this is probably by far my favorite area. This is going to be just south of farm, kind of right there in the cove. We get the first guy already down. He did not have a weapon, was just picking up some random crap along the way. All we had was a pistol, but it's going to get very interesting. Like I said, guys, when you're ranking up, you just never know. So all we have is a pistol still. Went ahead and we have a backpack, and we're pretty sure we can hear this guy inside of this building right here. And I'm not feeling very comfortable right now because he's been looting longer than I have. You can see his footsteps on the mini map right there, but it does sound like he's upstairs. Like I said, guys, sometimes it can get really, really close when you guys are pushing and dropping in these remote areas. So here we go, right behind here. We still, all we have is a pistol. What the hell is going on here? So we're gonna go ahead and open up this little shack, and lo and behold, what did we find? We found an AK, and we have an Uzi. So now I wanna go ahead, we're gonna go back in here, because we have to eliminate the threat. And we know that he's upstairs right now. So you can hear his footsteps, and it sounds as if he's about to hop out. So I'm not sure what his loadout is. Maybe all he has is a pistol himself. But he didn't check that little small building. You always want to be checking every single building that you possibly can. So what we're going to do here, we are going to go full Rambo on this guy's ass. Right out the window. Look at my health. Guys, I was a cunt hair away from probably having a minus 45. But we ended up walking away with it. And the dude had an Uzi too. With that AKM, pulled up the ADS. We were able to take him out. But look at my health. Like I said, it's not always going to be, and a lot of people are always talking shit about, you know, when people are ranking, oh, all you're doing is, you know, dropping in some random area and, you know, hiding in a building. Sometimes that can be more dangerous than dropping in certain hotspots, because the dude dropping in the remote area with you is also ranking, who also knows how to play. And it just kind of goes to show you that a lot of people, and it's usually the people who say that aren't the ones who actually rank. They just think they know how it is. But yeah, even dropping in a remote area like this, you can still have a couple people landing with you. So for those of you guys ranking up in solos, for the most part, most small little compounds are going to, it will have enough loot just for you. But the ones I'm showing you guys in this video are my favorite based on what I know I can pull out of there and where they are located on the map position-wise. For the most part, they're pretty central. For those of you guys that are wondering where you can loot, quote-unquote, safely when you're ranking up in duos or squads, I'll go ahead and list a few for you guys. For sure, up in the Northwest, you have North George and you have South George. Not the crates, but the apartments north and south of the river. You have Rozhok, which is pretty much smack dab in the center. You often can meet a few squads there, but there's a bunch of good loot and a bunch of buildings. But yeah, Rozhok is also another great place. Another good one is Yasnaya. There's so much loot. For those of you guys in squads, you won't be able to loot all of it. There is a ton up in Yasnaya. For the most part, I would stay away from shelter. You can get trapped down there. And the military island, I think, is absolutely horrible. There's a shit ton of people, and you have a bunch of people bridge camping. Doesn't matter if it's TPP or FPP, you will be bridge camped and wrecked. So let me know down in the comment section what map you'd like to see featured in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed.